Alright, so once you create an Repl.it account and you've confirmed that you want to program in Java, we can start creating new REPLs. So here we go. We'll go into My REPLs, and you don't necessarily have to create a folder, but if you do, that's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll create a new REPL here, and it will be in Java. Now don't take this as your default. Let's go ahead and call this my first REPL, and then we'll create it. And then what will happen after a couple of seconds, depending on your internet connectivity and your computer, you'll see that we have sort of a file or package explorer on the left. In this main window here we have our coding, and then here we have basically our execution command prompt. So let's take a look at what we have here in the code. I'm going to bump this down a couple. Now this looks a little bit different, and we'll kind of bring it back to what we're used to. First of all, we're going to put the keyword public before the class name. Now this file is called main.java, therefore the class needs to be called main. So we could always change that, and we will in the future, but right now we'll just leave that. I'm going to hit enter a couple times after each brace here to sort of space out this code so we can see it a little bit easier. Now we can see we've got the class name, and then we have the main method, and inside the main method we have a print line which will print out hello world, and then we have the closing braces. If we click run, again this can take time depending on the computer speed as well as your internet connection primarily, because this is being ran actually off your computer. And then we will see over here that some activity is starting to happen inside the window. And then finally it prints out the message hello world, because, well, that's what it says here to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create another system.out.println, and we'll do it right under this one. And we will ask the question, how are you? And we'll close that and finish that statement. And then we will go ahead and run that and take a look at that one. And as you see now, we have both messages, hello and how are you, right? Just to show you something, I'm going to go ahead and make an intentional mistake here. I'm going to put a single quote instead of a double quote. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you to see what errors might look like in this program. Now we can definitely see that there's a red line here right now. There's probably some issue. But let's just say we kind of overlooked that and we ran this code anyways. We didn't notice the code. You'll see that it throws a lot of errors. Now it's talking about main Java error, unenclosed character literal. Well, main Java is the name of the file. 9 is this line. And so they're saying there's an issue here. So that should bring your eyes to this as well, right? And it's kind of throwing some different messages. This one here says, hey, why don't you take a look here? This error message here says maybe it's here. This one says maybe it's here, and this one says maybe it's here. So what we'll do is we'll start from a top-down procedure. We'll look at the first error, and of course that would tell us that this is a single quote instead of a double quote. And if we fix it and we run it, we're back to good. Now once you've done this with your code, I want to make sure that you have two messages. You don't have to do the same one as me, but make sure you have two messages. And then I'm going to want you to invite me to it, and my username is right here at Jason Buka. So invite me to it. Make sure your name is something that I can recognize, therefore I can give you a grade for it. Or if you have some kind of weird name already, make sure you send a message to me, let me know what your username is. Alright, so we will get into much more complicated replets in the very near future, but this is a really good place to start. Hopefully everything's running and working for you perfectly, and good luck.